How much money do you think there is in the world? 37 trillion US dollars. This is all cash, as well as the amounts in savings accounts. If we add bank deposits here, we get 215 trillion. The entire property is estimated at another 217. Do you know what lies behind the sum of $800 trillion? Securities that are traded on stock markets. Why is this amount so large? Let's find out. The popularity of the stock market lies in several key points. Firstly, it sells a unique commodity, securities that make it possible to receive a portion of the business's profits, while avoiding most business risks and complex issues of company management. About the principles of operation of the main securities, stocks, bonds, you can watch my explanatory videos on the links in the description. Secondly, the profitability of investments in securities is often much higher than investments in other assets. For example, if you deposited 10,000 rubles to a bank at 8% in 2003, you would have earned 27,100 by 2015, and buying a portfolio of the most popular Russian stocks for the same amount would have brought you 55,200 rubles. You may reasonably note that if you are looking for high returns, then you need to invest in real estate, and you will be partly right. In recent decades, not only Russian, but also foreign real estate has grown in price significantly more than the most popular stock index S&P Wink with tongue sticking out 500. And here there is a third key point in favor of investing in securities, namely a low entry threshold compared to real estate. Judge for yourself, buying an apartment as an investment requires a lot of initial capital, and no one else guarantees that this particular living space will increase in price. Whereas hundreds of dollars are enough for initial investments in the stock market. How does this market work? There is a certain light company. She is engaged in the production of sneakers and wants to raise money to expand her business. To do this, it becomes a joint stock company, issues shares and places them on the stock exchange. That is, it is undergoing the IPO procedure. When Light shares are listed on the stock exchange, any investor can buy them. In fact, the exchange is a store where issuers supply their goods, securities, and investors buy their favorite positions on the shelves. There are a lot of such exchanges in the world, so each company decides for itself on which exchange it is most profitable to place its securities. After Light sells its shares, they become the object of purchase and sale among two categories of buyers, dealers and brokers. Dealers are large companies that buy and sell securities at their own expense and earn money from it. Brokers are intermediaries that provide investors with access to trading. This means that you cannot enter the stock exchange on your own and buy a Tesla share. You will have to open a special account with a broker whose main income is commissions from their clients' transactions. So, Light has sold all its shares on the stock exchange, but now how do you know who bought them? This information is collected by the registrar, a legal entity that maintains a register of securities holders. If our company issues other securities, then information about their owners can also be obtained from the holders' registry. And how are investors' securities accounted for? After all purchases on the stock exchange are carried out in electronic format. No one receives a stack of shares and does not store it at home under a pillow. But the sale of paper must be fixed somehow. These securities accounting and storage services are provided by depositories. Their accounts contain all the information about which securities each client has. That is, the registrar maintains a register of all holders of securities for the issuer, and the depository maintains the accounts of each investor. Now imagine that millions, if not billions, of transactions take place on each exchange every day. The same investor can buy and sell a security several times per trading session, and many of these transactions are made on credit. Therefore, it is very important that there is a certain market participant who will check the correctness of all calculations. This is handled by a clearing organization. So let's see what happens when you click on the Buy button in the broker's mobile app. After this click, the broker sends a purchase request to the exchange, and there it will hang until someone wants to sell exactly such a paper at your price. As soon as the wishes of the buyer and seller coincide, the exchange registers the transaction and transmits information about it to the clearing organization. The clearing company checks the sufficiency of money from the buyer and the seller's paper. after which it makes a mutual settlement and passes this data on to the depository. He fixes the transfer of ownership and transfers money from the buyer to the seller and paper from the seller to the buyer. The deal is completed. We have not considered many issues, especially IPO, listing, underwriting, over-the-counter trading, etc. If you are interested in these topics, let me know in the comments.